4147 Moselle Road. This is Alex Murdoch.
If you didn't know the Murdochs, you wasn't from Hampton. And whether you knew them or not, they knew you.
Where the Murdochs go, death seems to follow.
There is no justice in Hampton County. And if they come out of Hampton, it's not going nowhere.
People that could just erase it like it never happened.
This is a southern version of a mafia story.
Enough evil had been done by the family. It's gone too far this time.
Collison, I have an Alex Murdoch on the line. Call us from 4147 Moselle Road. I've been gone. I just came back. My wife and child are just shot badly.
And you sure they're not breathing?
Oh. Nobody. They're not. Neither one of them's moving. Please hurry.
The Low Country is a different part of the world and a different part of South Carolina. Hampton, in particular, is a small, sparsely populated town.
Hampton is a small rural community, very few stoplights, country.
How y'all met up that night and what y'all did. We want you to tell us what you're sure and certain about, what you saw. Okay?
So we were over at a friend's house. We left from Chichester, which is Paul's house, in his boat.
Everybody was drinking. Ain't no denying it, hiding it. And Connor decided they wanted to make a pit stop at a bar on the way, and I definitely knew that wasn't a good idea.
At first, like, we didn't want to go, but Paul was, like, a little drunk, and he wanted to go, and this girlfriend, Morgan, they kind of, like, got into it, fighting about it, and, you know, he just was very persistent about going up to Luther's and getting a shot. He's, like, very persistent. Whenever he wants to do something, he's gonna do it.
I tried to stop that from happening, but there wasn't much I could say.
Was just being rude to everybody.
When we left the dock, things were starting to catch up. Late, cold, foggy. I mean, everybody been drinking, wasn't smart. Paul was drunk, too drunk to be driving the boat.
Paul was
Just as a whole other person when he's drunk, and he, like, does this thing with his hands where he, like, spreads them apart, and, like, he can't keep them together.
His hands would be such that he can't bend his fingers or he can't make a fist. His hands are sort of spread out wide with his fingers spread out wide.
This had ceased to be a joyride and had now become a very frightening concern for their safety.
At one point, like, Paul kept on, like, hitting the throttle, and, like Anthony stood up and was like, take me to the nearest dock, because if you're gonna keep driving like this, then I'm gonna just get an Uber from somewhere. And, like, Paul was messed up. I saw the bridge coming. At the last second, like, I, like, screamed.
It was Sunday. That was the only day that I didn't go to the bridge.
Yesterday, after 1 week, the search for Beach ended.
It's the conclusion that family and friends of Mallory Beach feared after praying for a week for a miracle that maybe she had survived that boat crash and would be found alive.
It took me months to really believe it.
2 months ago, Hampton County teen Mallory Beach died from a boat crash.
The young man accused of driving the boat when it crashed, Paul Murdoch, was arraigned today.
He was charged with felony boating under the influence that causes a death. So he was facing literally 55 years in prison.
This relates to a boating homicide.
You just sit there with a blank look on your face going, what happened?
Paul and Maggie Murdaugh were found dead at their family hunting lodge.
It was shocking. Time stood still. I remember exactly where I was.
Both mother and son were shot and killed execution style. Investigators note both were shot multiple times.
Dumbfounded by it. You can't express the reaction.
I wanted to, but I figured there was probably a little bit too much drama would be involved. But I've made my peace without having to go to the funeral.
Anthony has since told us that one of the days out at the bridge that Paul did make contact with him.
He looked at me dead in my eyes when wasn't nobody paying attention and apologized and said, you know I love you. And I said, I love you too. And I had
close range. Maggie is shot multiple times. Then there were 2 last shots while she was on the ground at close range. What it appears to be is that Paul was a target and that Maggie came up on what had happened and was a witness.
It's another bizarre twist in the story of the Murdaugh family. Investigators are looking into another crime connected to another family member.
Good evening, everybody. Andrew Davis out here in Hampton County right now with the story that really everybody is talking about. There's a massive